Thank you. That introduction took me back a bit, celebrity, I'm not sure. But yes, I'm in the entertainment industry, and I choose not to use the podium because the stage is one of my most favorite things. And my directors would be angry with me if I just station myself in one position on the stage. So ladies and gentlemen, my name is Promise Nyalungu, a young boy from Limpopo who a few years ago had wild dreams that I can create this organization that can give kids in rural areas and township areas a chance for them to explore their talents. So how the story started was when I was still a young boy. I think I was doing grade 2. This other teacher just looked at me and said they were going to cast me in a play. And mind you, I had never done theater before. But I still recall even today the lines that I had to do. From that point onwards, I fell in love with the stage. I fell in love with performance arts. But because I was in a rural area, there were no spaces where I could do this. And that was the story of my life from primary, high school, until I got to university. And when I got to university, by that time, I had already given up on the whole idea of wanting to be a performer. I wanted to now be a debater. I wanted to do LLB and debate and bring changes to the world. And then I went one day to look for a debate group as I saw a poster that they were rehearsing somewhere. And the minute I got there in this venue at the University of Venda, which is called the Sports Hall, there was a mini corner upstairs. So this wall was mainly for indoor sports, but there was this group upstairs in a corner. And when I got there, I told them that I'm looking for the debate group, and they told me that I'm in the wrong hall. And I was like, okay, what are you guys doing here? And they said, we're doing drama. And I was like, drama? And then that dream came back again, that spark came back again, and I was like, I want to join you guys. And they said, okay, you have to wait for us to finish, and then you will audition. So I watched them do everything, and now I started to panic. And then at the end, they were like, okay, it's time for your audition. I was like, no, I don't want to do it anymore. And there was this guy called Tewolenake who said to me that, just show us what you can do. And then I did something for them, and then this was 2014, and that picture was in 2015 when they casted me for the first time at the National Arts Festival. And this was where most of my dreams started, because when I got to the National Arts Festival, I then realized that the problem that I had as a kid, not finding platforms to perform, was actually a nationwide problem, because when I got to the National Arts Festival, I realized that most of the people who were performing there were either sponsored by universities or were either sponsored by metro municipalities. These were people from areas where there were your state theaters, Cape Town, where there are other big theater walls. And then when I got back, I thought to myself, how can I now change the situation? That's when Struu Artzz Entertainment was born. And Struu Artzz Entertainment, we are a company that is focused on shining the spotlight on rural and township creatives. We funded the company in 2017 at the University of Venda. The University of Venda made us who we are today because it was them that provided platforms for us to perform, even though they don't offer a program in performance arts. But they gave us a chance to perform. And this was the picture that is in black and white was taken in 2019 after we had joined EDHE for the first time at the InterVarsity, and we reached the national finals. And we were so sure that we were going to get it. And we came back home with nothing. And I put that picture in black and white because that was supposed to be the end. I mean, a lot of people were saying, chance takers. We told you, sit down, chief. And the color picture, as you can see the anger on my face, I was like, listen to me. And this was in 2020. And following that pitch, we won EDHE Student Entrepreneur of the Year. We also won Social Impact category. And this was the beginning of the most exciting time in my life. I didn't even see it coming. Because following EDHE, a lot of things have happened, and most of which I don't even know. Some of the rooms, sometimes I find myself in a room and I'm like, all of this happened because of EDHE. Because I added to my profile that title that we won an award. We won an award for being a business with the most social impact. And some of the things that we have done, we have started what we call the Struu Artzz Africa Network, which is a way of just increasing the impact that we can have, because Struu Artzz Entertainment is a private company, and sometimes there's a challenge in terms of forming partnerships, being a private company, so we had to also register a non-profit organization, which is Struu Artzz Africa Network. We also started recently this other business called Exclusive Bites. With Exclusive Bites, the bigger vision is to create an entertainment venue for students that will offer entertainment that is meaningful. Because recently, I mean, the type of entertainment that students are exposed to is just entertainment. At the end of the day, students will wake up in the morning with a hangover, not knowing what happened the night before. But with Exclusive Bites, we want to have meaningful entertainment. We want to have poetry nights. We want to have exchanges of ideas. We want to have dialogue about what is happening in our country. Because as young people, this country is going down the drain and we are just watching. But as young people, we are the ones who will suffer the consequences because we are the next generation. And speaking of next generation, there's also the Next Generation Leaders Program, which I was part of in 2021. And recently, they just invited us back. Last month, towards the end of September, we were invited to Boston in the United States by the MasterCard Foundation to come and draft a $10 million proposal for a project titled For Youth by Youth. So this program, they want young leaders. We are 36 young leaders from around the world, and we're supposed to come up with a program that is supposed to fix the problem and challenges of young people globally. So this is a very exciting time, and I'm looking forward to it. But since I have this opportunity in front of you to tell us our story, we also don't want to just tell you our story. We want whoever is in the house who feel like this young man is making some very powerful points, and we want to work with this young man. Currently, we have this production, which is called Shadrach. Shadrach just came back from the National Arts Festival. A lot of people loved it. We were even invited by the MEC for Sports, Arts and Culture in Limpopo to come and have one theater night whereby we are doing this show. So Shadrach is a story about a young boy who was raised by a mother. It tells the story of absent fathers and the consequences of absent fathers on the upbringing of the boy child. Because in South Africa, there's a lot of societal ills that we're dealing with, but the boy child is not at the center of most solutions, you know. And this boy child will grow up in a world whereby he's labeled as someone who's bad by society. But what are we doing to help them? So we're planning on doing this production and also partnering with the Department of Justice so that we can, because it tells the story of inmates in a prison, but it also talks about how they got there. So we want to do this as a national tour and take it to high schools and teach young people, young boys about how to be responsible, how to be careful of their consequences or their actions. And we also have the Asante Youth Fest, which is a festival that we want to do, which is a traveling festival that we want to take to rural areas and township areas in terms of inspiring and motivating young kids like me who also have that passion that is burning in their hearts but have no platforms to showcase. So if you're buying my story, this is how you can join us for greater impact. You can just take the number or drop us an email. But one thing I can say is that I am glad that EDHE invited me here. And yesterday I missed my flight in the morning. But I was like, I'm booking another one because I want to come here and talk about this because it's for the first time that I'm seeing a focus on social impact and the arts and having people from academia discussing that because we are not merely just performers, we are storytellers. Someone once said that as artists, we are whistles. The wind blows through us and we make the noise. And there's no better time for people to make noise than now. We need to make noise about a lot of things. We need to make noise about GBV and all societal ills in our country. So help us in making that noise. I thank you.
Right?